really tough times. Like guys like me, like we're kind of like wussies. We magnify. I grew up with not a lot of money. My grandparents lived in trailer parks. So they slept in rooms with me, like that kind of stuff. Right. But then I see a video of you growing up in the slums in India with no running water, very little resources. You're still
I'm a fan of you too. And I'm a fan of you because of the consistency and the tenacity that you've had throughout the years. But as far as when it comes to that, okay, get it. We didn't have running water for like 2-3 days, and we had to figure out ways to salvage the water and share with the neighborhood. Those are all tactical things that a human being figures out as along the way. You living in a trailer park, I'm sure you've had many of struggle. Anybody living somewhere else that has many of struggles. I'm sure a lot of people have many of struggles, but it's about how you adapt and you counteract those struggles. And that is why a human being is the apex predator. We are not the apex predator because we are the strongest of them. A lion will maul you. You could be the size of Dikembe Mutombo, and a lion would maul you, right? It doesn't matter how big you are. It doesn't matter if you fight like Khabib. None of that matters. It's about adapting to your environment. That is why a human is the apex predator. That is why certain people have, blue eyes and blonde hair, and other people have brown eyes and black hair, and so on and so forth. It's because we've adapted to the environment and we've shaped ourselves by that.
I like that outlook. That's actually good. But that doesn't change the fact that you grew up in one of the worst places to ever grow up with very limited resources. Mm-hmm. Your parents abandoned you at a very early age.
Damn, I don't want to say abandoned.
No, come on, man. Let's just say they set you up because they couldn't take care of you at the time. And they sent you to live with your aunt.
But I respected the hustle, because there would probably be no fam Mirza. There would be no fam Mirza without, to the full fledged of what a fam Mirza is without the United States of America. This is a country where you have opportunity. This is a country where you can go from being on the side of the road to being a multimillionaire. The My Pillow guy. Smoking crack one day, boom, goes from the side of the road, now he's selling pillows worth $250 million. And it's like, wait, what happened? It's like, okay, but that's enough hard work and tenacity.
Well, I do agree with you. We live in a great country with lots of opportunity and a foundation, a legal foundation where we can start businesses and take shots and eventually become this great success story. But here you are, you're a kid. Your parents sent you off to live with your aunt. You're growing up in these really harsh, where in India?
Hyderabad, India. Purani Valley.
And what's your actual nationality and background?
We're mixed with Azeri Moraf. We're like Azeri, Azerbaijan. We're like, Persian. We're mixed. And my dad is Egyptian, so we're mixed with a lot of different things. Cyprus, Greece.
Got it. But your aunt's living in India. You're growing up with her, and at some point, your parents come for you or call for you.
I'm like 20% Indian.
Okay. So now, how old were you when you actually made it to the United States?
I'm about like 10, 11.
Okay, you're 10, 11. Now you're here. And your dad was working for the military.
They're crazy. Yeah. So the crazy part is, when we landed at that airport at O'Hare in Chicago, my dad, he looks at me and he says, this is it. This is a country where a man with enough knowledge and enough hard work can make anything of himself. And I took that into account. He's saying it at O'Hare Airport in Chicago. You know what I mean? So I had to take that into account, and I registered that, and I played like that. And then I get to my uncle's house, and I'm looking at the screen, and there's a guy that just keeps jumping across the screen. And I'm like, I was like, who's this black guy that keeps jumping across the screen? He was like, your father teach you nothing in Saudi Arabia is Michael Jordan. He was like, he's not even a guy. He's not a guy. I was like, well, he looked like a guy. He's like, no, he's Jesus, Black Jesus. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, who's this Michael Jordan guy? And I started studying Mike. And, this is it was his, second to last year. But I started studying Mike. I learned a lot from Mike. I learned the passion that you need to have in the game from Mike. I learned the passion of the game of life from Mike. I learned about a guy that hit a 7/10 of a shot because of his focus in life. That's what I learned from Mike. Think about it. Think about a ball. And that's the craziest part of the documentary. Reggie comes on the screen and he goes, Everyone in the building knew where the ball was going to go. The whole arena knew where the ball was going to go. 0.7 of a second, and this man gets the shot off.
Keep telling the story, fam. Keep telling the story.
0.7 of a second, this man gets the shot off. If Reggie is on there. Reggie is on there. You know, Reggie is on there. Reggie is on that documentary. He's saying everyone in the building knew where the ball was going to go. The arena knew where the ball was going to go. 0.7 of a second on that clock gets the shot off. Everyone in the building knew where the ball was going to go, but the shot still came up. The 3 guys are guarding him. The shot. So the level of focus that his pinky finger had to have to get the last cusp of that ball off must have been something tremendous as to him being focused in the present moment. That's why I always say to you, I say focus is the number one skill set to have in life, especially